We're a show about random things and occasionally some real estate. If you like to listen, you can find us wherever you download your podcast. If you like to watch, you can find us on Facebook or YouTube under Houston's Home Connection Team. And if you want to participate, you can email us at justask@houstonshomeconnection.com or catch us on Facebook Live every Wednesday at 12:30 and leave us a comment wherever you happen to be watching. This week, we're going to talk about getting your house in shape. We have a few social observations to touch on, and as usual, one or both of us will say something completely off the wall. What's that in the sky? It's not a bird, it's not a plane. Heck, we can hardly put our pants on without tripping, but this is the Random Real Estate Show.
Yeah, so Tom, have you, I'm guaranteed that you do know what's going on, but Popeye's Chicken is now revamped their setup. They came out with more. They're stocked. They're good for a lifetime. You cannot miss out on the Popeye's Chicken.
I know that one time we tried to go because we were gonna do a podcast on it, and they were out, and they're dead to me now. I don't even bother going.
So I'll be honest, and I'm not saying this because I'm like some nutritional freak, but I've never eaten a Popeye's chicken sandwich. But I quickly wanted to go over before I get into what I want to talk about with Popeyes is the nutritional value that people are clamoring for, right? So in the Popeyes chicken sandwich, it says that it has 690 calories,
Okay.
42 grams of fat, 14 grams of saturated fat, 1,443 milligrams of sodium, and 28 grams of protein.
Sounds like heaven.
So literally, people are going to Popeyes, and without joking, you can die either way by eating the sandwich or through cholesterol or physically going and getting stabbed like this man did in Maryland, where somebody thought that he was skipping line, and they were so nervous that Popeyes was going to have another run out of chicken sandwiches that a fight ensued, and this guy got fatally stabbed over a Popeyes chicken sandwich. Now, if you've seen the news, you not only saw that one that happened in Maryland, but continuously you're seeing fights.
Right.
And it's like the workers are not working fast enough, getting the Popeyes chicken sandwiches out. I mean, my God, this is a chicken sandwich, people. And like I said, Tom and I have tried to get it. We tried to go off of that Chick-fil-A Popeyes challenge, didn't work out. But this craze is really just lowered the level in my faith of humanity even lower. And the other day I'm going home and I take a Beltway 8 feeder, which passes by a Popeye's chicken. So in the right lane, I'm over in the left lane. In the right lane, I'm seeing all these cars stop. And I'm thinking, that's kind of odd. That's going to cause a wreck pretty soon. It was the drive-through extending out onto the Beltway feeder. It's dark out. Nobody has their hazards on, so they're waiting in line. And I mean, it just looked like a disaster waiting to happen.
Yeah, I think we came by there. The one in just up here by the house the other day, and as we were driving by, my wife was like, what's all this traffic? And we realized, they must have the sandwich back in, and you and I sat in that line for forever, and they got you trapped. At least the one we went to. Yeah. Once you went in, you were not going to like go around. I thought about jumping the curb, but I don't know. It's like at this point, I've lost all my interest. I don't even care.
Well, yeah, like I said, I have never been to a Popeyes before. I don't plan on going there now. I mean, the Popeyes chicken sandwich, I guess. I go to Chick-fil-A all the time, which their chicken sandwich, the spicy one that's a go-to for me.
Yeah.
And maybe Popeyes is the same, but geez Louise, man, I don't want to put myself in this situation, the fear for my life.
Well, the thing was, like, after, I think at that same time, you told me about the Wendy's Twitter feed. And man, if you're into Twitter and you like to just, read some funny stuff, follow the Wendy's Twitter feed because it's pretty funny. Mm-hmm. The comebacks they have, and as they were kind of joking about this, the whole Popeyes chicken sandwich craze. But I don't know. I think as far as a marketing ploy, I mean, I'll just say if you and I could figure out a way that we could get people to line up like that to have us sell their house, we'd be geniuses. But as a marketing ploy, whether they intended it or not, they have increased their revenue share by a ton. They have to have.
I don't think they ever thought for any time that there would be a shortage, to where they had to like literally, sorry folks, we're done. We got to resupply.
Right.
We got to go kill some more chickens and get all these babies fried back up. But yeah, the marketing has worked out fantastic. You had Deshaun Watson the other day, who before they even came back on the market, he said he was eating them.
Right.
So.
And claiming that's what healed him up and helped his eye or something.
I really hope he's joking. I think he's smarter than that. But
well, I had a buddy who.
This is true. I mean, now that you can buy a sandwich and get miracle powers on it.
I had a buddy who used to own a chicken place in Arkansas, in Fayetteville, right outside the U of A campus, and the football coach at the time, Houston Nutt, he actually went on his weekly radio show and said, "Yeah, ever since we've been eating Charlie's chicken, we haven't lost a game." And of course, that helped him out. So,
I suppose he lost after that.
Oh yeah, eventually they lost the game, but it was a nice bump for my buddy. So it's funny what people will do. So I think this whole Popeyes thing really did come from some sort of a social media craze of people talking about it and making such a to do about it that everybody started going. Then I have to go see what this is all about.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. One lady was in line and she said it was her cheat day, and it looked like every day was her cheat day.
Easy now.
I know.
Easy now. Come on. And so that's a good segue into our topic this week. In that I came in the other day and let Josh know that if you go back a ways and if you go to our Facebook page, we did a kind of a spotlight on the Houston area or Lake Houston area YMCA. It got flooded during Harvey, totally destroyed. They've rebuilt it, remodeled it, and we went in and did a video just kind of showing everything. And I was highly impressed because I had gone there before and it was like, it's okay. And now it's really something. So my family and I went in this weekend and we joined the YMCA. And so that means we have to work out. And my 13-year-old son, who's now a fitness fanatic, he makes me wake up every morning at 5:15 to take him to the YMCA and we work out together. And it is killing me. I mean, I hurt in places I forgot I could hurt.
Yeah, it's always those first couple of days after getting at it because you come in like a machine, just ready to.
Oh, I've even tried to go light. Listen, I've done the gym before.
You weren't going for bulk.
No, I was like doing just the bar on stuff or just like little lightweight. Oh, it was, and I had. Well, I told you, like I know I'm past my prime because I got down on the floor to do crunches, and there was some young girl over there, whatever. I didn't care. I looked like a beast whale flopping around, but I did my crunches. Anyway, I'm hurting. But I do need to get in shape. I've got some health issues and some things going on, and my family, for some odd reason, wants me to hang around for a few more years, and so I need to get in shape. But last week, if you remember, what we talked about was sometimes the fall is not the best time to sell your house. Now, we're never going to claim you shouldn't sell your house. It's just some numbers show that it may be a more difficult time. And if you're looking for something a little easier, and you can, the spring typically just makes for a better time. But in that time frame, one of the best things you can do if you're going to do that is get your house in shape. Go ahead and spend this fall and winter, actually doing things to get your house prepared so that it is in good shape. Like I'm just trying to prepare myself to look better. You need to prepare your house to look better for when you want to sell it.
Yeah, and before we get into a few little tidbits on how to do that, the weird dynamic is down here in Houston, we'll continue to work out. I feel like I'm saying this every week, but I grew up in the Midwest, and what we would do is we would eat more and get lazier to put on the winter coat to stay warmer in the winter.
But well, yeah. it never really gets that cold here, so you never, you're like, you just wake up in the middle of January sweating.
No, I took a walk this morning, and man, that was incredible weather.
Yeah, no, it has been feeling really good. It's just I noticed, here lately, even when it's nice, if it's humid, it just still has that dampness about it that kind of just like, ugh, versus. Yeah. But anyway, we're going to talk about how to get your house in shape. And Josh has some tidbits, and then we're going to talk about some things we've seen.
Yeah, so I got off track for a bit, so I'm back.
That's all right.
Okay, so now is a great time to get that home ready for the early 2020 selling season. And one of the things you can do to really do it is frankly, me and Tom would be more than happy to stop by your house now and maybe instill a little advice of what we've seen and what we've seen work for others. We'd love to come by and help you out with that. That's first thing. But begin. I don't know if anybody saw the video I did this morning, Tom editing magic with the Wednesday Wisdom with Josh, but we talked about decluttering, and I can go back to that 100 times. That's still one of the most important things, and it not only declutters your home to get it ready to sell, but it really does something for your mindset and provides you a home that almost looks a little bit different. So I always start with packing, the stuff that you don't want, the stuff that you do want. Get that ready to go, and line that stuff up in the garage. Clear the clutter, go ahead and make any repairs and improvements. And one thing that Tom and I will always defend is, pay a couple $100 to bring in an inspector. They'll do a pre-inspection on your home to where that could save you thousands down the road when you do think about selling your home. And that buyer who brings in their inspector and he finds just a laundry list of stuff, this could save you time and money on that laundry list of stuff by getting some of the smaller items out of the way. And frankly, even if it could find that big item that could save you from getting possibly sued down the road that you didn't know about.
Yeah, I was in a couple's house the other day who were wanting, this is and I keep, this is our 18th show, which we're both somewhat amazed the fact that we actually have done something 18 times pretty much consistently.
Right.
But I met with a young couple the other day, and I think I talked about last week. Told them like, hey, it's probably not the best time, but what I love is they said, what can we do while we're waiting?
Yeah.
And so that's what we went into, and we walked through the house and talked about everything. And even though their house is only 3 years old, I still told them, I'm like, I talk about getting an inspector because every house, most buyers are going to get an inspector to come look at it, and that inspector gets paid to tell you something's wrong. Yeah. He does not get paid to tell you, oh, it's all good, it's a perfect house. So if you go ahead and get that inspection done early, it's not saying that you have to fix everything, but now you know what you may run into. So if he's going to find that there's ABC, you already know that, and you're prepared when they go, well, we want that done. You go, yeah, we know about that, and we're not prepared to, do that, or you can fix it. So, it's like those things. A lot of times there's those things that we will talk about. $100 fix will turn into a $500 price drop.
Yeah.
So, it's way better to just get your house in shape, and quite honestly, to take it out of the real estate realm, there's just no reason not to keep your house in shape. There's so many houses that when it finally just, falls down around somebody, that you're like, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. Well, you didn't keep the house in shape.
Yeah, so we lost our live feed, so that could be good or bad for anybody.
So we're trying, by the way, everybody. We're trying to do a live feed, and it's a work in progress, but you can always catch us anywhere that you normally watch our podcast.
Yeah, so quick couple things. Freshen up paint on your front door and hardware. Okay, so you've probably noticed when you walk into homes, you can see dirty trim on the bottom, base trim. Freshen it up with a nice coat of paint. All those handprints along like the door handles on doors, next to light switches, all that stuff. Clean all that up. A fresh coat of paint could go a mile in some of these cases. Even when, let's say you painted your kid's room an odd color, go in and get it neutral now.
Right. Well, I've told people, I've used this for a while, and I've had a couple houses that I helped them sell for a whole lot more than as the one who was 15,000 over list price. And what I told him was, get all those baseboards cleaned up, get all that stuff. People fall in love on the way in. They're looking up. They're looking at everything at eye level and whatever. They fall out of love on the way out because their eyes start looking down at the floor, looking down at whatever, and they see all those nicks and chips and stuff like that, and they're like, I don't want to mess with this. If they're just as in love on the way out because that house has no little quirky issues, they're way more likely to say, hey, let's make an offer than, hey, let's see something else.
Yeah, so let's let the light in. So if you got any bulbs that may be a little dim, or you got a couple that are out, now's the perfect time to get the bulbs changed out. That's a super easy thing to do.
And match them.
Oh yeah.
Don't to be sure, and there's all colors of lights nowadays, and I'll be honest, in my own house there's different colors, but I'm not selling it, so
Yeah.
we're saving money. But if we were selling it, I'd be going through to match all my light bulbs.
Focus on the bedrooms and bathrooms, and a couple of things that you can focus on. These are doing the grout. The grout and the tile can get super dirty, super dirty. So focus on that. Focus on the caulking around the shower. Some of the times that breaks away and it gets water caught in and it gets kind of moldy back in there. So redo the caulk in the shower and the bathtub right there. And your bathroom can also be, just by, I don't know, even adding a fresher coat of paint in there. You know what I
Right.
mean? Like a lighter paint, because you don't want those smaller rooms dark.
Well, and and Josh has mentioned paint a couple of times, and for me, what the big deal there is that people will always ask me, should I paint? Should I paint? And when I'm looking at, like, are we listing next week? No, I mean, we've missed the opportunity. If you've got this winter, then yes. And the other thing I've told them is this: if you are going to lay there at night and think, if we'd painted, our house would have sold, then paint your house. Anything you think you should do, don't listen to me if I say, no, I think your house is perfect, it's neutral, it's fine. But if it's going to drive you nuts thinking I think we should have painted, then paint your house. Because I'll never convince you that that's why your house isn't selling, or that you didn't get full price.
Yeah.
You're always going to think it was because you should have done something. You should do those things that are bugging you.
Yeah, and so the last tidbit I'm going to talk about, there's more we can go through, and Tom and I would be more than happy to do this on a personal level with you if you contact us. But this is a key one. I'm always a big fan of this because I'm convinced that the front of your home is like that. Because I know clients of mine will drive by the home before they even ask me to go set up an appointment. You know, if that home's been on the market for a little bit, they'll ask. They'll just drive by and go, hey, we just
Yeah.
drove by this house and it looks pretty sharp. Well, that's because the curb appeal is sharp. So spruce up that curb appeal. And I'm a big fan of adding, and I'm no gardener, so don't add any advice as far as what I tell you. I'm sure it'll die, but I'm a big fan of colorful plants. I just think color adds a lot to the outside instead of the normal just greens and stuff like that. But get that front yard curb appeal all spruced up, and you'll be in good shape because the the allure and the illusion that you're giving to clients or the potential buyers is that the outside is spruced up, the inside's got to
Right.
be too.
Yeah, I used to not be necessarily just a big proponent of the whole curb appeal thing, but I've changed. I've since, I don't think you should go nuts. I think you just get out there some fresh mulch, day of pictures, put some pops of color flowers around there. It's not necessarily you have to keep them alive, but I think on picture day, that front picture that's going to show, when it has just some nice flowers, gives a person a reason to say, I want to go see the house for real. So that's the other one. I'm just sitting there and I was going, okay, there was something else I told them, and what was it? And that is power wash. Power wash the front of your house,
big, yeah.
either yourself or pay somebody. There is nothing that looks more impressive than when somebody pulls up and your driveway and your sidewalk just kind of shine compared to the neighbors.
Yeah.
It really makes that stand out. You can probably get away with not doing some other stuff, but man, having that clean, and while you're there, just do the rest of it. Get those cobwebs out of the corner in the porch and those kind of stuff. It's just those. I think I tell people what they should be doing is keep walking into your house as though you're wanting to buy it. Look at it with that eye of, okay, if I was buying this house, what do I see that would bug me, and then change it, fix it. Because if you're doing that with that mindset of, if I was buying this house, what would I think? That's what the buyers are doing.
Yeah.
So just keep that in mind, and there's really nothing Josh and I can tell you hard and fast of, oh, this is definitely this or that, because every buyer is different. I think everybody in their mind knows what they need to do. They just want somebody to help them. So as Josh said, we're more than happy to come over and say, here are the things. But my advice almost always ends up, you guys walk into your house, look it over, you decide what would turn you off. It's probably going to turn off the buyer as well.
Yeah. Well, besides the live feed taking a dump, I blame the office on losing the Wi-Fi stream on that. But are you good, Tom?
You caught me mid-drink.
No drinks here.
Well, I can't. My throat's getting dry. So I'm taking a drink anyway because no, I'm not ready to go off the air yet. Okay. So just like it was, it's been my pleasure to get up every morning at 5:15 and torture my body. You need to spend this fall torturing yourself, getting your house in shape, whether you're going to sell it or not, because I believe it's a very important part of just keeping your house in a tip-top shape, regardless.
Right. All right. Thanks for joining us this week on the Random Real Estate Show. You can find more of our podcasts on our YouTube page and Facebook page, both under the name Houston's Home Connection Team. We're also on iTunes, so you'll never miss a show. While you're at it, if you find value in this show, we'd appreciate a rating on iTunes. Or if you'd simply tell a friend about the show, that would help us out too. If you'd like to speak with us about any real estate items, feel free to contact us at justask@houstonshomconnection.com. As always, go out and laugh today.